going? John Dette here, and sorry I've been absent for the last, what has it been, 2 weeks now. I promised you Tuesday tips, and I'm so sorry for lagging on that. So, I thought for this Saturday I would catch up and do Tuesday tips meets Slayer Saturday. How about that? So, who wants to learn some Slayer? Let's dive into it. Tip for this week is a Slayer tip for Slayer songs, and it's really, in my opinion, it's one of the coolest little things that you hear in Slayer drumming, particularly Dave's drumming, and that is the what we can either call a ruff or a diddle or grace notes, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to demonstrate it here in just a second. It's just one of those little things, almost like you hear it, but maybe you don't hear it, if that makes sense. It's just this little thing. It's brilliant. It's amazing. I love it. It's one of my favorite things to do, whether I'm playing a Slayer song or even Anthrax songs or any other songs. So anyway, but what I wanted to point out is not only this what's done, but a mistake that I see some people making. I made the same mistake early in my drumming journey as well. So I'm going to demonstrate the correct way and the what we would call the incorrect way. Again, there's no right or wrong way to do stuff, but if you want to learn the right way that we do it, then I'm going to show you the way that it's done. So with that, then you can roll however you want to at that point. But I'm going to show it was a mistake that I made, and so anyway, let's get into it. So the ghost note or grace note is simply, it's just, as some of you may or may not know, it's going to be generally one or two notes that are lighter volume than right before the main hit. Okay, so let me just demonstrate two ghost notes with one hit. Okay, if you're right-handed, it's going to be starting with your left hand, two hits on the left, and then one loud hit with the right. If you're left-handed, like me, it's going to be two hits with the right hand, one loud hit with the left. Okay, here it is left-handed. Pretty simple, straightforward, right? It's just two ghost notes and then one loud hit. Again, if you're right-handed, start with the right hand. Okay? And the way that that's incorporated into a Slayer beat is with just a straightforward thrash beat, and on the 4, we're going to add that little ghost note in on the very last hit. Okay? So I'm going to slow it back just a little bit so you can hear how it sounds, and then I'll do it at a regular tempo. Okay, so hi-hat, why not? Let's do it on the hi-hat. So just a simple thrash beat, just kick, snare, 4/4 hi-hat. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. I was just kind of messing around there doing some stuff. But You see what I'm doing there? At the very end, it's just a little on the very last of that 4/4 progression. More importantly, I'm doing it all, if you're left-handed, I'm doing both of those hits, just like I'd be doing, some traditional grip rudiments on just a snare drum. Here's the mistake that I used to make early on when I heard those notes. Instead of doing it with one hand, I did it with two hands. Because to go from playing a heavy thrash beat, you're using the muscles in your snare hand a certain way, and to switch those muscles to go from one hit to two hits, that was challenging for me. And so what I would do is this, which is because that was a lot easier when I was 16, 17 years old. I hadn't really developed my hand yet to a way where I could go. All right? So, it's one of those, what I would call a trademark part in Slayer songs. Now, that's also, it's that same kind of pattern. Some of you might have seen me do the Caught in a Mosh drum fill, that great Charlie fill that breaks the beginning of the song up into the fast thrash verse part. Same exact thing. He just does it as a fill where it's okay. It's a great exercise to work on, you guys. But if you are one of those guys, one of those thrash dudes out there, and you're going like this, now you know. Play it like that if you want to, but understand that's not the way it's played. It's one hand, not two.